With as many as 32 video games coming out for the month of February, it's been a crazy month, so let's get right into it. Dawn of Fear, it seems more of a high-textured version of Resident Evil, so if you're looking for more of a third-person shooter with fixed cam mechanics, then check it out, February 3rd for PlayStation 4. Next we have Life is Strange 2. The complete season will be coming out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on February 4th. It follows two brothers as they run away from home. It's decision-based, so any decisions that you make will impact on the game, just as the first Life is Strange game. Next up, we have Monster Energy Supercross 3. It's a dirt bike racing video game. It's coming out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on February 4th. The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics is a turn-based strategy game based off of the Netflix original series of The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. It comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac on February 4th. The Sims 4 Tiny Living is an added video game from The Sims 4 where you focus on building a house that is minimalist or, in other words, tiny. It'll be coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One on February 4th. Zombie Army 4 Dead War is a shooter developed by Rebellion and published by Ubisoft. It's basically a whole entire game that's based off of the zombie mode for Call of Duty. Comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on February 4th. Seventh Sector is a game developed by Sergei Noskov and published by Sometimes You. It's a puzzle-solving game. It's based off of kind of a cyberpunk, almost Blade Runner. It's coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on February 5th. The next game coming out on the Switch on February 6th is Knights and Bikes. It's a top-down kids game. It's developed by Foam Sword and published by Double Fine Productions. It had a previous release on PlayStation 4 and PC August 27th of 2019, and it came out on February 6th for the Switch. Kunai is a game that was developed by Turtle Blaze and published by the Arcade Crew. The game is more of a Super Meat Boy gameplay style. It'll be coming out on Switch and PC February 6th. Next up we have the Turing Test coming out on the Switch for February 7th. It had a previous release date on August 30th, 2016 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Developed and published by Bulkhead Interactive. First-person shooter-esque puzzle solving. Basically think Portal with more heavy-based first-person shooter mechanics. AO Tennis 2 coming out for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch on February 11th. It had a previous release date that we also had a video for on January 9th for 2020 on PC. Developed by Big Ant Studios and published by Big Ben Interactive. Next up is Mosaic. Mosaic is an adventure game developed by Krillbyte and published by Raw Fury. It saw a release on PC and iOS December 5th of 2019. It saw a release for Xbox One and Switch on January 23rd. And it also had a release on February 11th for PlayStation 4. Yakuza 5 is a game that came out on February 11th. It had a previous release December 8th, 2015. It came out on PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4, it came out on February 11th for 2020. Developed by Ryuga Kotoku Studios and published by Sega. It's an action fighter game. It had a re-release on February 11th in a remastered edition. The next game is Florence, which is a hand-drawn adventure game. It came out on February 14th of 2018 on iOS and saw a release for Switch, PC, and Mac on February 13th, 2020. It was developed and published by Annapurna Interactive. Next game is Luna the Shadow Dust. It came out on PC February 13th. Developed by Lantern Studio and published by Application Systems Heldenberg Coconut Island Games. A single-player adventure game that also has more of a hand-drawn Studio Ghibli vibe. The next game is Street Fighter V Champion Edition. Street Fighter V Champion Edition came out on February 14th, developed and published by Capcom for PlayStation 4 and PC. Darksiders Genesis came out on February 14th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. It had a previous release date on December 5th, 2019 for the Stadia and PC. It was developed by Airship Syndicate and published by THQ Nordic. Darksiders Genesis is more of a top-down version of the previous Darksider games. Dreams, a game that I was personally looking forward to. You can play up to 4 players at a time. It was developed by Media Molecule and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The genre for the video game is more of a social media platform for video game creators, level designers, anything like that. If you want to publish something, you can post it on there and other people can see it. It came out on PlayStation 4 February 14th. Table Manners is a physics-based dating simulator developed by Echo Chamber Games and published by Curve Digital. It came out on February 14th for the PC. Tony Stewart's Sprint Car Racing is a video game that came out on February 14th for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It also came out on February 21st for PC. It was developed and published by Monster Games. It's a derby racing game. Corruption 2029 is a strategy game developed by the Bearded Ladies and published by the Bearded Ladies. It saw a release on February 17th, 2020 for the PC. Hunt Showdown is a video game that had a previous release on August 27th for 2019 for Xbox One and PC. It was developed and published by Crytek. The game is set in the late 1890s and details the hunters who take down various monsters that have overrun the world. Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition came out for the Switch on February 20th. It was developed and published by Capcom. Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind is a video game that also came out back on January 23rd for the PlayStation 4, and it saw a release on February 25th for the Xbox One. The game, developed and published by Square Enix, it follows the second storyline for the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, developed and published by Capcom, came out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC February 25th. Samurai Showdown had a previous release on June 27th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and had a release on February 25th for the Switch. It's the usual samurai-type fighting game developed by SNK and published by Athlon Games. 2 Point Hospital is a simulation game developed by 2 Point Studios and published by Sega. It had a release date on August 30th of 2018 on PC and Mac. For the month of February, had a release on the 25th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Overpass is a obstacle driving game developed by Zordix Racing and published by Big Ben Interactive. It came out on February 27th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. February 28th, we had a game come out for PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Blood Roots is a action-based game where you solve the levels by picking certain routes on how to kill everyone in the map. It is developed and published by Paper Cult and has a very mature rating for the amount of blood, guts, and gore that come out of it. Metro Redux is a shooter video game developed by 4A Games and published by Deep Silver. It saw a release on August 26 of 2014 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It came to the Switch on February 28th for 2020. One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows is a fighting game based off of the One Punch Man anime series. It was developed by Spike Chunsoft and published by Bandai Namco. It saw a release on February 28th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 15, developed and published by Koei Tecmo, is a turn-based strategy game based on the 14th century historic novel attributed to Luo Guanzhong. It is set in the turbulent years towards the end of the Han Dynasty and the Three Kingdoms period in Chinese history, starting in 169 AD and ending with the reunification of the land in 280. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 15 came out on PlayStation 4 and PC February 28. These are the major games that came out for the month of February. Like this video and subscribe for more content. I'm Michael Mad C Excuses, and I'll see you next time right here on What You Game.